Have you ever paused for a moment and asked yourself, am I truly living with purpose today, or am I simply moving through the motions? It's a quiet question, almost subtle, but one that touches the heart deeply. Life, as we know it, is full of noise, distractions, and responsibilities. Yet, in the gentle stillness of reflection, the soul whispers a reminder we were created with intention, with meaning, and with a path that can lead us closer to peace, to fulfillment, and to a life aligned with higher purpose. Take a moment now, breathe, and think about your morning today. Did you rise with clarity, or did the day simply sweep you away? The Qur'an offers us guidance, not as a set of rigid rules, but as a mirror for the soul, a mirror that shows us the beauty of living intentionally, the importance of cultivating a heart that is awake, aware, and tender. Every verse, every reflection is a gentle hand guiding us back to our best selves, reminding us that transformation is always within reach. Consider the principle of niyah, intention. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, reminded us that actions are measured by intentions. This simple truth, echoing through time, carries immense weight. Every choice we make, no matter how small, shapes the trajectory of our lives. When we act mindlessly, our days can feel heavy, meaningless, and fragmented. But when we pause, even briefly, to align our actions with sincere intentions, we begin to witness a shift. Life gains color, purpose deepens, and even mundane moments become opportunities for reflection and growth. Imagine, for a moment, that your day is a canvas. Each action is a brushstroke. Some strokes may be hurried, careless, or even regretful. Others are thoughtful, deliberate, and filled with love. The Qur'an encourages us to paint our canvas with awareness, to pause before we speak, to breathe before we act, and to consider the impact of our choices on ourselves, those around us, and our connection with Allah. It is in this mindful practice, in the conscious weaving of our intentions into our daily actions, that we begin to live fully, rather than merely exist. Reflect on patience. Life often tests our hearts in ways that feel overwhelming. Difficulties, disappointments, and moments of despair are not signs of failure. Rather, they are gentle invitations to return to the heart, to realign with our values, and to trust in the wisdom of divine timing. The Quran repeatedly emphasizes sabr, patience, not as passive waiting, but as active resilience, a cultivated strength that allows the heart to remain steady amidst turbulence. Patience transforms struggle into opportunity, hardship into a teacher, and fear into trust. I often ask myself, and gently ask you now, how do we cultivate such patience in a world that demands instant results, immediate gratification, and constant activity? The answer is not found in external achievements, but in inner awareness. When we remember that every moment is fleeting, that every hardship carries a lesson, and that our true success is measured by the kindness, sincerity, and mindfulness we carry in our hearts, we begin to embrace life differently. Each breath becomes sacred, each step intentional, and each interaction meaningful. The Quran also teaches us the principle of tawakkul, trust in Allah. Yet, this trust is not passive resignation. It is an active surrender. A surrender that liberates the heart from anxiety, from overthinking, and from the illusion of control. When we align our efforts with trust, we act diligently, plan wisely, and engage fully with life, but we release the burden of outcomes that are beyond our hands. Consider this: what if the weight you carry could be lifted simply by aligning your heart with trust and surrender? What if peace could be found not in controlling every detail, but in embracing the divine wisdom that guides your path? And then there is gratitude, a principle so simple yet so transformative. We often overlook it, caught in our routines, our struggles, and our endless pursuits. But gratitude has the power to awaken the soul. The Quran reminds us, if you are grateful, I will increase you in blessing. When we begin to notice the subtle gifts in our lives, the morning sunlight, the breath in our lungs, the kindness of a friend, we open the heart to abundance. Gratitude reshapes our perspective, turning scarcity into sufficiency, despair into hope, and ordinary days into sacred moments. Let us not forget the principle of humility in a world that celebrates achievement, status, and outward success. Humility is often undervalued. Yet the Quran teaches us that true greatness lies in gentle hearts, in sincere intentions, and in a recognition of our dependence on Allah. Humility does not diminish us, it frees us. It allows us to learn, to grow, and to extend compassion toward others. When we embrace humility, we stop measuring ourselves against the world and begin to measure our lives against the depth of our integrity, the sincerity of our love, and the consciousness of our actions. Now, reflect on the principle of reflection itself. The Quran encourages us to ponder, to contemplate, and to examine the signs around us. Reflection is not merely intellectual, it is a spiritual practice. By looking inward, we uncover patterns in our behavior, understand the whispers of our hearts, and recognize the areas where our intentions may have drifted from our highest values. Reflection illuminates the path, reminding us of where we have strayed and gently guiding us back to the rhythm of purposeful living. Consider the balance between action and stillness. Life often tempts us to constant movement, achieving, acquiring, doing. Yet the Quran invites us to pause, to stand in awe, and to connect with our Creator. In stillness, the heart finds clarity, the mind finds focus, and the soul finds restoration. It is in these quiet moments, when we step away from the noise and distraction, that we reconnect with the principles that shape a meaningful life: intention, patience, trust, gratitude, humility, and reflection. And finally, the principle of compassion. The Quran places immense emphasis on kindness, mercy, and empathy, not only toward others, but toward ourselves. Often, we are our harshest critics, our own toughest judges. Yet, spiritual growth is nurtured through gentle self-awareness, forgiveness, and care. When we extend compassion inward, we cultivate resilience and openness. When we extend it outward, we contribute to the healing of the world. Compassion transforms ordinary actions into acts of devotion, turning daily life into a spiritual journey. Take a deep breath now and feel the weight of these principles in your heart. Imagine carrying intention, patience, trust, gratitude, humility, reflection, stillness, and compassion with you today. Imagine how differently you might respond to challenges, how your interactions might soften, how your inner world might flourish. This is not a distant ideal. It is within reach, moment by moment, choice by choice, breath by breath. Let us pause together. Consider the areas in your life where you have been moving without awareness. Perhaps there are moments when impatience took over, when fear dictated your choices, or when gratitude was forgotten. Now, gently, without judgment, bring awareness to these moments. Recognize them as invitations, not failures. Recognize them as opportunities to return to the principles that nurture your soul. And as you do, feel the quiet transformation begin, a shift toward alignment, a return to meaning, a softening of the heart. This journey is not about perfection. It is about presence. It is about waking up each day and consciously choosing to live according to principles that elevate the spirit, guide the heart, and illuminate the mind. Each moment becomes a sacred practice, each interaction a reflection of your inner growth, and each challenge a chance to strengthen your connection with the divine. As we prepare to explore deeper into these principles, I invite you to open your heart fully. Let the wisdom of the Qur'an resonate within you, and let each principle serve as a compass, guiding you gently toward a life of intention, purpose, and spiritual fulfillment. Remember, transformation does not happen overnight. It is the accumulation of small, conscious choices repeated consistently that leads to profound change. And you have the power to begin right now in this very moment. Now, let us journey further into the principles of the Quran and see how they can reshape not only our hearts, but the way we live each day. Imagine for a moment that life is like a garden. Every thought, every intention, and every action is a seed. Some seeds are sown in carelessness. They grow into weeds of distraction, stress, and discontent. Others are sown with awareness, intention, and patience. They blossom into flowers of peace, joy, and purpose. The Quran provides us the sunlight, the water, and the nourishment to cultivate this inner garden. It guides us on how to choose which seeds to plant, how to tend them, and how to allow them to flourish. Consider the principle of self-accountability. The Quran reminds us that we are stewards of our own hearts and actions. Each day offers a mirror. How have I lived today? What choices reflected my values? And where have I strayed? Reflection is not meant to bring guilt, but clarity. Through this lens, we begin to observe patterns in our behavior, to notice where impatience or anger has crept in, where gratitude was absent, and where our intentions could have been purer. Self-accountability is a sacred practice, one that encourages gentle correction, continuous growth, and deep alignment with our higher purpose. In our modern lives, we often chase external markers of success, recognition, wealth, or validation. Yet, the Quran redirects us inward, teaching that true success lies in the refinement of the heart, in the sincerity of our intentions, and in the alignment of our daily actions with divine guidance. This inner success is steady, unshaken by worldly fluctuations. It does not depend on applause or external outcomes. It thrives quietly, deeply, and beautifully within us. Let us revisit the principle of patience, but now in relation to time itself. So often we wish for life to move faster, for solutions to arrive immediately, and for results to be instant. Yet, the Quran teaches us that every process has its timing. Patience is the bridge between effort and outcome. It allows the heart to grow, to mature, and to understand that the journey itself is a teacher. When we embrace patience, we honor the rhythm of life, we trust the divine wisdom, and we transform waiting into a sacred, purposeful space. Another principle that illuminates the path is sincerity, acting not for recognition, praise, or reward from others, but for the pleasure of Allah and the integrity of our own hearts. Sincerity is quiet, humble, and profound. It transforms ordinary actions into acts of devotion. When we approach work, relationships, and even daily chores with sincerity, we infuse them with meaning. Each small deed becomes an opportunity to strengthen character, embody values, and cultivate inner peace. Reflection naturally leads us to mindfulness. The Qur'an emphasizes awareness of both our inner states and our external actions. Mindfulness is the practice of witnessing life without being lost in it. It is noticing the tone of your voice, the quality of your thoughts, and the intention behind your actions. Through mindfulness, we begin to respond rather than react. We create spaces between stimulus and response, between impulse and choice. In this space, wisdom arises. In this space, the heart softens, the mind clarifies, and the soul remembers its purpose. Trust and reliance on Allah or tawakkul deepens as we cultivate mindfulness. As we act with intention and sincerity, we release attachment to outcomes. Life becomes less about control and more about flow. Trust is not passive. It is active engagement combined with surrender. It is working diligently, planning carefully, and acting thoughtfully, and then allowing divine wisdom to guide the unseen path. This trust brings liberation. It lifts anxiety, releases fear, and fosters a sense of serenity that is independent of circumstances. Gratitude, too, is a transformative principle when practiced with awareness. It invites us to pause and notice the beauty embedded in the simplest of things, the warmth of sunlight, the laughter of a loved one, and the quiet moments of reflection, the breath that sustains life. Gratitude reshapes perception. It rewires the mind to see abundance where scarcity once ruled. It opens the heart to joy, even amidst challenge. When gratitude becomes habitual, it strengthens resilience, nurtures hope, and softens the edges of worry. Humility, again, is essential in this journey. The Quran calls us to recognize our limitations, our dependence on divine guidance, and the shared humanity of those around us. Humility is not weakness, it is the foundation of wisdom. It allows us to learn, to listen, and to connect authentically. When we practice humility, we create space for growth, compassion, and sincere relationships. It anchors the soul in truth, preventing the distractions of pride, comparison, or ego-driven striving. Compassion, both inward and outward, completes the circle of principles. Often, we extend care easily to others, yet overlook the importance of self-compassion. The Quran teaches us to be gentle with our own hearts, to forgive our mistakes, and to nurture our inner lives with the same kindness we offer to others. When self-compassion is present, we are able to extend genuine compassion outward. Our words, actions, and presence become sources of healing, encouragement, and light. Compassion elevates daily life into a spiritual practice, turning ordinary moments into opportunities to embody love, empathy, and understanding. Now, reflect on balance. The Quran repeatedly highlights moderation, not extremes, not neglect, but a harmonious path. This balance applies to work and rest, giving and receiving, action and stillness. Balance is the rhythm that sustains spiritual, mental, and emotional health. Without it, we are prone to exhaustion, frustration, or disconnection. With it, life flows smoothly. Every choice becomes measured, every action intentional, and every relationship nurtured with care. Let us consider action guided by purpose. Many of us drift through life responding reactively rather than acting intentionally. The Quran reminds us that we are here with reason for growth, learning, and contribution. Purpose-driven action is grounded in clarity about values and goals. It is living in alignment with principles that reflect our highest self. Every task, however small, can be infused with purpose when approached mindfully and with sincere intention. Purpose transforms routine into meaningful practice, work into worship, and presence into legacy. Forgiveness is another principle that gently heals the heart. The Quran teaches that letting go of resentment, anger, and grudges is not only an act of spiritual obedience, but a gift to the self. Carrying bitterness weighs down the soul. Forgiveness, by contrast, frees the heart, restores peace, and allows space for growth and joy. When we forgive both others and ourselves, we open the door to greater clarity, compassion, and harmony. Connection with others, rooted in kindness and empathy, is also emphasized. The Quran encourages us to nurture relationships through respect, support, and honesty. These connections reflect the heart's alignment with divine principles. When we act with consideration and love, our relationships become mirrors of our inner growth. They are opportunities for practice, for patience, for compassion, and for deepening our understanding of human experience. Finally, remember the principle of continuous growth. The Quran encourages reflection, learning, and striving toward higher virtues. Growth is not linear. It is a journey with ebbs and flows, challenges, and revelations. Each day offers an opportunity to refine the heart, strengthen intentions, and live more consciously. Growth requires courage. The courage to face shortcomings, to embrace change, and to commit to small, consistent steps toward alignment with divine guidance. As we conclude, pause once more. Feel the principles you have explored: intention, patience, trust, gratitude, humility, reflection, stillness, compassion, balance, purpose, forgiveness, connection, and growth. Let them resonate within you, guiding your heart and shaping your actions. These are not abstract concepts. They are living practices, ready to be embodied in your daily life. Each principle is a compass pointing toward inner peace, purposeful living, and spiritual fulfillment. Life is a delicate balance between effort and surrender, action and reflection, challenge and growth. The Quran offers us timeless wisdom to navigate this balance with grace. By embracing these principles, we align ourselves with a higher purpose, soften our hearts, and illuminate our path. Transformation is not distant. It is accessible in every conscious choice, every reflective pause, and every moment of heartfelt intention. Take a deep breath. Let the awarenesses of these principles settle gently within you. Imagine moving through your day with intention, patience, trust, gratitude, humility, reflection, stillness, compassion, balance, purpose, forgiveness, connection, and continuous growth. Imagine the calmness, clarity, and light that arises when your life is guided by these principles. This is not a dream. It is the life you are invited to live moment by moment, choice by choice. And so I leave you with this gentle reminder: your heart is a garden, your life a canvas, and your choices the seeds. Plant with awareness, Nurture with intention and trust that the divine wisdom will guide your growth. Each day is a sacred opportunity to realign, to purify your intentions, and to live in harmony with your highest self. Begin now with small steps and watch as your life transforms quietly, beautifully, and profoundly. Carry these reflections with you. Return to them when life feels overwhelming, when your heart feels heavy, or when doubt clouds your mind. Let the principles of the Qur'an serve as a soft guide, illuminating your path, steadying your heart, and in reminding you that transformation is always within reach. And as you move forward, remember to share your light, to extend kindness, and to live consciously. Your journey is a gift, not only to yourself, but to all those whose lives you touch. May your heart find clarity, your soul find peace, and your life be guided by purpose, compassion, and mindful presence. And may the gentle wisdom of these principles continue to awaken your spirit, nurture your growth, and inspire a life of conscious, meaningful living.